Hi there, I'm Owen from Bar44. We are a Spanish group of restaurants in Wales and the Southwest, and today we're going to share a beautiful Spanish recipe. It's a Welsh lamb shoulder empanada, like a big pie for all of you to enjoy at home. So first of all, we've got a stunning shoulder here, Welsh lamb. We're going to keep it whole and we're going to marinate it up for at least 2 hours. If you've got time at home, 24 hours. Starting off with lots of garlic, going straight in. If you've got a food processor or a blender at home, that's perfect. We've got 1 lemon, just gonna zest that. You can use this is a microplane, but you can use a normal grater at home. Just gonna get all that into there. If you've got store cupboard salted anchovies, some of my favorite things, obviously go beautifully with lamb. They're going straight in as well. Into that. Lots of herbs. We're going to make a dressing afterwards to go with this recipe using mint and anchovy. So I'm going to save the mint leaves for that, but I'm going to put the stalks straight in to the marinade. Going to add extra flavour, don't waste anything. They're going in there. Got sort of some strips of thyme, just take the leaves off, get some nice soft thyme if you can, not the hard woody stuff. That's going straight in. Then a nice handful of rosemary, again just stripped off the stalk. That's going in there too. Then I'm going to loosen it all up. A good glug of extra virgin olive oil and some dry sherry. So I'm being quite liberal with this. There we go. Some sea salt. Not too much because you've got those anchovies in there and they're nice and salty. And this is then going to blitz up to a paste, and we're going to puncture the lamb shoulder, rub it in and get it in the fridge to marinate. Okay. Whoop. Okay, that's a nice smooth marinade. All you need to do now, get your lamb shoulder onto a firm chopping board, make sure it's not moving around, nice and safe. And you're just going to puncture that all over. Okay, nice and deep. And on the other side, you'll find certain bits you can puncture as well. Okay. Also, whilst I'm marinating this is going to go all over. Can get messy, that's fine. We use Welsh lamb shoulder for this, purely because one, obviously the flavour in a shoulder is incredible. It's a hard-working cut. So it takes slow, long cooking, but also you get so much out of it. So this is, I don't know, 2.5 to 3 kilo shoulder. And I mean, ideally you could use this for a Sunday roast, cooking it till it falls off the bone. And you're gonna have more than enough for the next couple of days as well. So when we shred this apart, ideal for Monday, Tuesday night dinner in a recipe that you can utilize like this. And the juices that come off it we're going to reuse as well and put back into that empanada, that pie. So you're just maximizing every bit of flavor, and of course cooking on the bone, that's even more flavor too. So fully marinated, this is going to go back into its tray, cling film it up and just leave that for minimum of 2 hours. If you're ahead of time, just do it overnight in the fridge and then we can cook it the next day. So we're going to start with this anchovy and mint dressing now. Anchovies give that lovely saltiness to that rich but delicate lamb. And we're going to be using mint, parsley, garlic, anchovy, some olive oil and just a dash of sherry vinegar to give it that sharpness. Super, super easy. All you need to do, going to fine dice everything. So anchovies going on here. You can do this as finely or as roughly as you like, depending on how you like your accompaniments. But ideally then, just at a consistency where you can drape or spoon it over your empanada afterwards. Okay, that's going in there. And all I'm doing now is going to loosen this up with olive oil again. Don't do too much to start with because you can always add more, you can't take it out. And that sharpness with the sherry vinegar. Be careful with seasoning, things like salt, because those anchovies are already in there. And that's looking good, it's ready to go. Okay, this is a roast piquillo pepper sauce or puree to go with your Welsh lamb shoulder empanada. It's super simple. You only need about 4 ingredients. Roast piquillo peppers, which are gorgeous. They're going to go straight from the tin. You can get these in good delis or good supermarkets. Going to have a little bit of sherry vinegar, 1 clove of garlic, and some extra virgin olive oil, just with a touch of sea salt. And that's all going to go into the blender till smooth, no lumps, and then decant it and it's ready to serve. Just like magic, lamb shoulder, lovely marinated. We're gonna get that to the stage now when we're gonna go into the slow braise. We have all your classic braising vegetables, so onion, leek, celery, carrot, bay leaf, garlic, you know, easily available. I'm not gonna cut those up too much because I don't want to break them down too far, because we're going to reuse them at the end to put through the empanada with the Welsh lamb for extra flavour. It's going in there. Get your lamb. You can just split this lengthways if you like and cut up into large chunks. Make sure you've washed those leeks, can get very gritty. There we go. Now get whole lamb shoulder on top of that trivet. And then you're going to add very generously the whole rest of the bottle of that dry sherry. It's all going in. Bear in mind at the end this is going to make a beautiful sauce to put through your forked pulled lamb. Bacon parchment on top. Just again, it doesn't have to be completely sealed, just nice and snug. And we're going to go into the oven at about 140 fan assisted for the next 3.5 hours. So it's had 3.5 hours, and then I just took the parchment off, put it back in the oven for another hour just to get that lovely caramelization and colour of that Welsh lamb. Moment of truth, onto a board. Here we are. We're going to just spend some time breaking all this apart. You don't want to dice it up too much. Quite simply, once it's cooled enough for you to handle, just do this with your hands and into nice pieces like this. That's ready to eat as is. That's going to be beautiful. All we're going to do once we've pulled the whole shoulder down off the bone is strain all the juices and sherry that it's been braising with. Take that liquor, I'm going to put it with some nice chicken stock and reduce it into a sticky sauce. Dice up the vegetables, put it all back through the lamb so you get a lovely pie mix. And then we're going to chill it down, roll the pastry and finish the pie. Always been important for us to use Welsh lamb in all our restaurants, regardless of geography, purely because we think it's the best lamb. Everything about rearing these animals just results in the most beautiful meat. Whether you're cooking Spanish like we like to do, or we're cooking traditional Welsh at home, if it's lamb, go Welsh. Okay, so our Welsh lamb shoulder mix is nice and chilled, ready for filling our pie. We've got a tray lined with just puff pastry we've used for this recipe. So line the bottom with 1 roll and then just edge up the sides. You're going to fill with the lamb mix. Nice and generous. You want a full, even layer, jam-packed full of meat. So that's full to the brim, to the level. Beautiful fork tender Welsh lamb shoulder. And now we're going to put the lid on. Here's where the mishaps could happen at home. Just make sure, if you're using this pastry, take it out of the fridge 10 minutes or so before you want to use it. Cut off any excess you have on the sides. Okay, you could use a fork for this if you want, just to seal it all the way around. So once you've crimped that or forked it down so it's going to seal, I'm just going to cut out a couple of lines of pastry just for traditional decoration. And once they're on, all we're going to do is egg wash the pastry for a nice glossy finish, and we're going to whack it in the oven, as I said, 180 for around 40-45 minutes, and you're going to have a golden crisp pastry and that oozing pulled Welsh lamb shoulder in the middle. This is post 40-45 minutes in the oven, and this is what we're left with. Look at that beautiful pie, Galician empanada, made with the most gorgeous whole Welsh lamb shoulder, slow braised, pulled apart. We're going to serve this sort of whole in the middle of a table to take a slice out of. You've got your roast pequillo pepper sauce and a lovely punchy anchovy and mint dressing. Hope you enjoy.